It is Brent Daniels, and we are back with the top 10 questions that you have asked in the comments section down below. First of all, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for hitting the alert. We get a ton of views on these, and the most important thing is you guys are actually putting the content, the value in these videos into action, which is huge because I get comments all the time on Instagram, on this page, on Facebook that you are doing deals. So that is the point of all of this. I am back again with Hanifa Brown,
Hi.
with Alejandra Merch. And no, they're not here just for clickbait. Nice try, guys. I see what you're doing. I see what you did last time. But we are here with some awesome questions that you guys have asked, and we really, really appreciate them because, you know, some of the questions that are asked need more than just a typed response. So that's what we're hoping to accomplish by asking these questions and getting the answers out in this video. So hope you enjoy it. We will start with Alejandra.
Okay, question from Singles No Dependent.
Okay.
Hi Brent, I have a burning question. How would you deal with a seller who is pre-foreclosure and listed with a realtor?
Okay, so there's a couple things dealing with that. So if you heard that, pre-foreclosure and it's listed with a realtor. So first of all, when we're looking for the absolute best deals, typically they're not going to be on the market. Now, if they are on the market, it's going to expose it to everybody out there in the marketplace. And when it gets exposed to everybody out there in the marketplace, typically they get an offer pretty quick and it gets bid up and you're not getting the absolute best deals. You want to get the properties off the market. So if it's on the MLS, I don't go after it. You can certainly go and start throwing lowball offers at people that are listed on the MLS for a long period of time. But if it's a pre-foreclosure, they're going to list it pretty low because they need to get an offer before it forecloses. And two, they're going to get exposure to everybody out there, and there's going to be a lot of different competition. So I totally avoid anything that is on the MLS. Now, when it comes to pre-foreclosures, I like the list, but you got to make sure with pre-foreclosures that there is equity. If there's no equity, there's no deal. So if they owe what it's worth, you get into some short sale situation, it's a nightmare. It's going to take you 3 to 6 months to a year to get it through. It's going to distract you. I want you out there going after the properties that you could really solve the problem with the people that have equity.
Ooh.
Good answer. All right.
Yeah.
So from SOC Industries Inc., great content, Brent, by the way.
Thank you.
I was just wondering how the conversation with the cash buyer or the realtor should go.
Okay, so this is interesting because I kind of read these questions before we went on it. So what I wanted to do, because Hanifa is a licensed real estate professional,
Hello.
I want to kind of role play it a little bit like you are the realtor and I'm the wholesaler, and I want to just have this introduction to see if you know you are looking for wholesale deals or your clients, right? Okay. So ring ring.
Hello, this is Hanifa.
Hi, Hanifa. My name is Brent Daniels, and I know this call's a little bit out of the blue, but I saw that you represented a cash buyer on a transaction on Turney Avenue. Is that right?
Correct. How can I help?
Yeah, well, actually, you know what? I find a lot of off-market deals all the time.
Okay.
You know, all day we spend being really proactive trying to find the best deals that aren't on the MLS. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to know if you wanted me to reach out the next time I got one of these deals in the area and see if you had a buyer that you'd want to sell it to.
Absolutely. Please send all day. We keep buyers. We love leads. We love hearing about new listings and wholesale. Send it my way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, and then from there, I would get this is obviously an abbreviated version, but I would get your contact information, make sure that I knew what the best, do you want me to text you? Do you want me to email you? What's best? Like, which one are you really going to it's going to show up? Yeah. And typically it's a text message with real estate agents. Real estate agents are like text machines, right? We're constantly like going crazy. So typically you want to get them into your text blast or text them individually when you do have a deal. And I think the conversation is this. How can I bring value to your business? How can I bring value to your buyers? You know what I mean? When I find a really great opportunity, can I reach out to you? That gives you permission to be able to do it, and it kind of starts building that relationship. And what we found is there's like maybe a couple dozen, 3 dozen just killer agents in the Metro Phoenix area that just have a ton of buyers. Mm-hmm. They just have a ton of buyers, and they're looking for deals. So it's huge, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. From John Rock.
Yep.
What if the property is owned by an LLC when I check the tax assessor website?
This is a great question. So a lot of times it's very difficult. So John's asking this because he wants to get the phone number for the owner of a property, right? You're driving for dollars, you look, all of a sudden it's owned by an LLC. Well, typically an LLC isn't going to link their phone number to the address of a property that they own in their portfolio. So what you do is you go to the Corporation Commission website in your area, and you look up, there should be an online services, and you plug in their LLC information, and you see who the managing member is. Typically with the managing member, it also has a address. Now, sometimes people set up their companies through attorneys. You can certainly reach out to the attorney and see if they'd be willing to talk to their client about getting a cash offer on a distressed property. Oftentimes, honestly, they really are. Don't be afraid to call them up. Don't be afraid to talk to them. Just be respectful, have a good tone. Don't try to be a badass with attorneys or with anybody else in general, right?
Yeah.
And just be really, really kind and optimistic on the phone, and that's how you get them. So you want to look for the managing member, see what address there is, and then skip trace that. John Rock. Boom! Here we go.
Hey.
We're feeling it.
From Life of Jay.
Yep.
How do you not offend the homeowner if they actually live in a distressed house?
Well, it's interesting. You know, you don't have to. I think not offending somebody is a couple different things. I think it's what we say, the intention of what we say. Mm-hmm. We certainly do not want to cause friction by telling them that they live in a terrible house, right? I mean, that's rule number one. Two, you need to ask them questions and let them talk to you. If you're the one talking to them and in a position to offend them, that means you're talking way too much. You got to ask the questions, right? You got to ask the questions. You know, have you done any major remodeling to the house in the last 5 years? Any major remodeling to the kitchen and bathroom in the last 5 years? Let them open up when they're talking about the condition of the property. They'll tell you. They know it. Listen, if they're a distressed property owner, they're going to say, this house needs a lot of work. If you call them up and say, hey, your house looks terrible, I drove by it and I want to buy it and fix it up because it's ruining the neighborhood, that's not the right approach. It's going to cause a lot of friction. So,
Tact.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, tact. Have some tact. Have some respect. Have some kindness. You know what I mean? Ask questions, but don't use a tone of voice that's going to help allow them to open up. And when they answer you, you need to actively listen. Okay, even if it's all over the phone, actively listen. Sure. Oh, I understand. Yep, got it. That's the key.
Great.
Awesome. From Daryl Hill. What?
It was awesome.
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 Okay. Yeah.
Daryl Hill said, how do you assign to a buyer with a loan?
That's a great question. So I assume what you're asking is a conventional loan. You don't. That's it. You sell to cash buyers only. That's the whole name of the game. You don't sell to somebody that has to get a conventional loan. There's too many underwriting overlays. That's technical, whatever. Sorry. It's basically the bank won't allow you to make to sell the contract to that buyer. They just won't allow it. The conventional banks won't allow it. Now, if they're getting private money, so what they can do is they can get a hard money loan or a private money loan, close on it, and then refinance with conventional financing, which most of them do in our experience.
Absolutely.
So if they don't have cash and they don't have a loan from a private money or a hard money lender, get rid of them. They're not a buyer.
All right. From Paul Sullivan, RVMs or text blasts?
RVM, so that's ringless voicemail or text blasting. This is a very, very, very popular subject. And I did a video on Lead Sherpa, which is they're completely compliant with all texting legalities, which is huge. So I prefer text blasting. Some people prefer the voicemail drops. I think both are going to get oversaturated in the next 6 months. So if you're watching this now, you got to test out both. See which ones work best for you. I would say text is way better, but some people have a lot of success with ringless voicemail. So I would test them both. I've done both. I didn't like the processes of ringless voicemail because I think you had to have a lot more manpower to be able to get calls back in, filter through, pre-qualify the leads, and make sure that they were legitimate. But with text blasting, you're gonna have a lot more people messing with you. You're gonna talk to people that it's a wrong number and they mess with you for a long time and you think you got this hot lead until you try to get on the phone with them and they don't. So make sure rule number one with text messaging is if it's a lead, get them on the phone. Don't just show up to their house. Don't just show up to the property. Make sure you get them on the phone, right?
Yeah.
Alejandra runs all of our text messaging leads. So what do you think? What tips would you give for text messaging?
I would just honestly get them on the phone, and even if you do get them on the phone, they sometimes still mess around with you. And I've gotten stood up on appointments. Show up there. I show up there and they're not home, and they don't answer my calls or texts anymore. So, or like Julie, where some guy was sitting at his porch drinking a beer and was like, "Oh, I was just messing with you." Like, I just try to get them the 4 pillars of pre-qualified, really get that. And I mean, you may get a waste of your time. Someone may mess with you, but hey, you never know.
Yeah, good. There you go.
From Matthew, people are telling him that in the market that he's in, that is too competitive here, and it's basically a waste of time. What advice do you have?
I think people are just trying to stop you from getting deals. I mean, it's an interesting tactic. Oh no, you don't want to do this, man. It's way too competitive here. No. You should probably go to a different market, or better yet, you should do drop shipping, or you should open up an Amazon store or sell things on eBay. That's what you should probably do. Stay out of wholesaling real estate altogether. Listen to me. There's opportunity everywhere. If you drive around in your community and there is any properties that need love, that are not all fixed up and upgraded and updated, then you have opportunity there. It is a conveyor belt of opportunity. Okay, is it competitive? Sure. But you only need a handful of deals to change everything in your financial life. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about a small sliver of properties that you need to be able to have good quality conversations with and get deals from. So I don't believe in that. Sure, there's competitive markets. We live in Phoenix. Every real estate guru, every traveling seminar comes through here every single week, and we still do over $1 million in business year after year after year. So don't get discouraged by it. Stay strong. Keep that identity strong that you can win at this and go out and really make an impact in your community.
All right. From Lance Morey.
Yep.
A question that never gets talked about.
Okay.
Once we have a property under contract, what's the process with getting both parties to the title company, double closing, etc.?
Okay, a couple different things. I think that if you're not in real estate, if you're just getting into real estate, there's a misconception that when you close a deal, the buyer sits across from the seller and you sign the paperwork in front of them.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened in your career?
No.
No, it has never happened. It
Separate
never
signings.
happened. The title company closing attorneys set totally different schedules. I sign here in the office every single time. They send a mobile notary up here. Steven, shout out. Nice to give you a shout out there. But he comes up, I sign the stuff here, and then it closes. So there's never this face-to-face, never that same time that people interact with each other. Not that it's bad, it's just not a common practice. So don't worry about that so much. So when it comes to closing, listen to me. Let the title company and the closing attorneys do their job. They essentially work for you. They're part of your team. You don't have to pay them like a salary. They're part of your team. So they set up the closing. They make it go smooth. They explain the whole title and escrow process. Your process is to make sure that the seller gets their money and the buyer gets a great opportunity to do something awesome with a piece of property. That's it. That's what we do. So don't get caught up with this, I have to do all the work of the title company thing. Let title do their job and you do yours.
Yeah.
Dang. From Clifford Walker, thanks. Question, I've been driving for dollars to get my first deal. Once I close and get my first check, where should I put the money to get more leads? Also, when should I start my LLC?
Interesting. First of all, talk to your accountant and talk to a CPA, talk to a real estate attorney or a corporate attorney, and figure out when the right time and how to set up that LLC. There's huge advantages. I don't know all of them. I'm not an attorney or a CPA, but I know that I got it set up as soon as possible for my own business. So talk to them. You can figure that out. Second, you're making money now. You're bringing in these checks now. You're getting these. Save the money. Keep it for yourself. That is what's called profit. Now, first of all, you gotta set aside some for Uncle Sam, right? Set aside some over here, 25, 30%. You feel good about it. Set it over here for Uncle Sam. The rest, put into getting more and more robust niche lists to call so that you never run out of fresh phone numbers to call, so that you can reach out and keep the process going. Remember, once you start going, once you start being consistent in your schedule, making calls, you gotta keep it fresh. So make sure that you're investing back into it, but that's minimal. I'm not asking you to throw 10 grand at direct mail or buy a website that's gonna cost you, $3,500. No. Listen, keep it. Get the data, get the right information, the right phone numbers, the right lists of people to call. Set aside some for the tax man, and take it for your own family. Take it for your own business. Wholesaling is the bridge. Wholesaling is not real estate investing. Wholesaling is the bridge that allows you to make money, take that money across the bridge, and buy assets. That's when you start becoming financially free. That's when you start getting that forever money. That's when you start building your legacy wealth and your net worth. So that's what I suggest.
Great.
Awesome. Question from Amelie.
Yes.
Interesting that you speak of niche lists. Never heard of a niche list. What does it consist of?
Okay.
And do you have a link for it?
Yeah. So there's a couple different, really good. So let's first define a niche list. A niche list is people that are most likely to sell at a discount, or to have they're the most likely opportunity that you can find a great deal. Okay, these are people that have already raised their hands because of some kind of distress. Driving for dollars is a niche list. If you drive in a neighborhood and it's boarded up and there's fires ripped through the ceiling, it's a good indicator of distress. These are niche lists, right? Probate is a niche list. That's when somebody inherits a property from somebody that has passed away. Tax default, people that can't pay their property taxes, is a niche list. People that own rental properties for a long time. Multifamily, these are all niche lists that you should be going after, especially if they're older properties. I always like to take rentals and multifamily, go for properties that were built before 1990 because they're probably older. And if these people have owned it for a long time, they're probably not doing a complete remodel on it. They're probably just keep renting it out and keeping the property. And when you keep renting out a property and not upgrading it, it eventually gets dated and or more likely just gets beat up. Dogs chewing on on all the molding. There's kids splashing stuff and poking holes in walls and roofs that need to be repaired and plumbing things that don't really, tenants just kind of beat up properties. They do, for the most part. So those are the niche lists. What was the second part? What was the end part of that? What is the niche list? Do you have a link? I get mine from flipthisrealestatelyst.com. But I really think the best niche list for you is to use Deal Machine. It's an app. Okay, use TTP as the code for the app. You get it $9 cheaper. You drive around, it literally maps. It gives you the information of the homeowner and the properties and saves them so that you can export, call all those people, get all those. Deal Machine is awesome. So check that out. That'll build up your niche lists.
That's it.
That's it! We did it! Top 10. Thank you everybody for asking all these questions. We really love the participation. We love that you are reaching out and that you are involved in this channel. We love putting out these videos for you guys, and we will continue to do so. I want to thank Hanifa and Alejandra for being my wonderful clickbaits so that you guys saw this video. Just kidding, they're wonderful.
Should we do another giveaway?
Yeah. Let's do another giveaway.
What should we have them do? Comment?
Yeah. Comment.
You have to comment and subscribe to the channel to win a hat and a TTP shirt.
There you go. So we will select 2 next week.
2
Make
next
comments
week.
on this video.
And subscribe. Make
Yep.
sure you're subscribed as well.
Yep. So until next time, guys, go out there. I encourage you, highly encourage you, to have quality conversations with distressed property owners. You do that, you cannot lose. It is flawless. You will get deals and you will be rocking. So until next time, see you guys. Love you.
Bye.